Alright, let's get back into this. So we're continuing off from our last episode. I had to get back here, because again, this is a no save. So I just kind of had to work my way back up, but that's fine. Maybe a little higher life count, which is nice, but anyways, let's continue on. Crap. There we go. So this is, like I said before, I'm only going to be doing the 3 worlds at a time. So this is the, whatever it's called, the flying battery. And I'm going to be doing 2 more after this, Press Garden, and then I forget the one after that one, but they're pretty straightforward, if not just a little fun to do. I'm not personally a fan of Press Garden, the first part of it anyways. I'll show you in a little bit when we get there what I'm talking about, but come on, let's see if I can hit this. There we go. It's a little too late because I lost all my coins, but that's fine. My rings, I mean. So keep in mind, as soon as I hit 50, I'm gonna probably turn it into super. But I just gotta be careful where I step, because Knuckles isn't really good on recovery. And there's a lot of spaces where I can just drop to my death here. So just gotta keep an eye on that. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. And remember, the blue rings make it so it's easier to pick up the rings when you take damage. I'm gonna try not to do that, take damage for the sake of, you know, a really good cool point factor, which is based completely on how much damage you take. Also, sorry this took so long to come out after the first one. Stuff happened in real life and I just had to go take care of it. Hopefully that won't happen again, but if it does, I'll try and be more, you know, foretelling in the future, like I'll let you know. Alright, here we go. So here's an interesting fact of when you grab a shield in these games, if you turn super afterwards, you lose the shield. But if you grab the shield after you become super, its abilities help you out. The only one that really matters though is electricity. The other ones you like for bubble and everything, you can breathe underwater. But yeah, I mean, you're pretty much going to be running through as fast as humanly possible through the water levels anyways, so it doesn't matter too much. I'll be hitting up here, over here, and then we're going back. Got 2 lives there. Come on, jump down. Again, with Sonic and Tails, you can normally jump a lot higher, so getting out of certain areas is pretty easy. With Knuckles, though, that's... oh, jeez, that could crush me. With Knuckles, though, it's a lot more difficult simply because he just doesn't jump as high. That's it. That's all I really have to say about that. I'm being a little better cold-wise, which is nice, so that I'm able to just not cough as much and try and have to edit that out. So we're gonna go up here for a moment. We're gonna just... this is kind of like backtracking, but at the same time it's not, because we're gonna be going forward at the same time. It's just taking a different path, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Let's go through here. I forget where I'm supposed to go from here. I can take multiple different paths, but I'll try and be more consistent. Alright, come out of the ground. Here we go. Here we go. It's just a friendly reminder that Knuckles can't be defeated by anything normal, like attacked enemies or any lava or anything like that. He can only be defeated by drowning or falling off the screen or being crushed, like pretty natural stuff. I'm gonna have... do I want to go here? I do. Yep, there it is. I don't want to go this way. There we go. We're right next to the boss, by the way. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Again, this is a lot easier when you're, you know, have super form and whatnot. It's just actually kind of... this can get like a little messy when you're on when you're normal form. Also, this is another boss that is more Sonic and Tails preferred, because you can hit him like right now if you want to with Tails and Sonic, because they jumps like way higher. So I kind of just have to wait for the stage to get closer together, like it is right now, so I can hit him. And until that time, which should happen in a few seconds, alright, that's my first hit. Almost. Yeah, it gets a little closer. Hit, 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 hit. There we go. And this is gonna drop down, but you can't really hit anything with this because, I mean, what is there to hit? It's all, the lower stage is all crunched up, so it'd be pretty weird to program that. Anyways, we're gonna just move on to the next part. I'm gonna grab the big ring real quick, which is like right next to the beginning of the stage. I'll show you. Other than that, it's been pretty good so far. Had a good long weekend going on. I didn't have class Friday, so I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Monday being Labor Day off, so I could just relax. And obviously the stuff that came up too, but for the most part I could relax. Here's a big ring. We're gonna wait to use it because if I fall off here, it's gonna be a waste anyways. I mean, I'm gonna lose the rings regardless, but it just makes it feel better if I try it this way. We're gonna hit this real quick. Does this hit anything? No? Okay. I'm gonna go up here first. Go inside. There we go. Now turn super. This upcoming boss is one of my more favorite ones, just because it's actually really cool and interesting to fight against. Just gonna keep moving along. We're gonna go back outside now. My goal is just to try and make it there with like, I'm not gonna be able to do it with super unless I grab some specific rings and the big ring somewhere, because this boss is very time specific. It'll make you wait to fight it basically. I'm gonna go, I think the place I need to go for Knuckles is up ahead. Yeah, it's up ahead. There'll be, it's hard to explain, but there's just a section that Knuckles can do really well. I think it's supposed to be Knuckles only, but you can do his Tails as well. Where you're basically just climbing up a bunch of walls and avoiding spikes. That's it. That's kind of what, it's just right here actually. Knuckles, partner Knuckles grabbed the thing that got in my way, I think. It's right here. So yeah, there's no... Normally Sonic couldn't jump up here unless he's... I think unless he's super, I'm not sure, but Knuckles mainly jumps up here. I'm gonna go over here real quick. Grab a lot of these stuff. There should be a lift for us in a second. There's a lift right here. And there's a big ring. We should be good to go for the boss fight now. Provided we don't die. With my luck, that's probably gonna happen. But I should talk about the game in terms of me playing. I've been playing this game since it came out, because I'm not a huge Sonic fan, but I was just interested at the time. Not a whole lot of games were coming out either that I was interested in, with stuff like Mario Odyssey coming out in a few months. So I decided to try this out on the Switch. You know, $20, no real reason not to buy it. And then I really enjoyed it, and everyone else did compared to reviews and people saying they enjoyed it. And that's kind of just been how it is for the last while. I've just been playing it for the last few weeks because it's been really fun. I'd say that it probably ignited my passion for just playing video games normally again, not as like any specific reason to, like because I want to or because there's like more games coming out and I have to play those too. I'm not going to touch anything when I'm doing this because that messes Knuckles up. If you mess Knuckles up at that point, when he's just running upside down and everything, he can fall off to his death, and that's just the worst, if I'm being honest. Okay, here we go, boss time. So this boss is one of the more unique ones, if I'm not correct. How he hits is you have to tap his head like this, and you have to hit him against the spikes, but you have to hit the lower part of his body against the spikes. Uh-oh. I might run out of time with Knuckles' form. So you have to wait for him to raise up a little bit, Knuckles hit him anyways. And that's the problem with having two partners, that this kind of just happens. Yeah, this is gonna be problematic. I might just have to take the death on this one. Sometimes you can hit him twice in a row on the spikes, which is nice, real nice, but it's pretty problematic. Like that. There we go. I think he takes 8 hits. But remember, you have to hit the bottom half of the spider, has to hit the spikes. It doesn't matter about the top half at all. So, yeah, that ball thing is like completely unimportant to this boss fight. There we go. I took a hit. Oh well. That counts still. Yeah, that's one of the weird things about this is when you end a boss fight, there are some bosses that have some parts of them that can still be hit by, so you can take damage or possibly even die as soon as you whack a boss. Like the first chemical plant boss, he has that water that goes around him. That stuff still is active as soon as he's destroyed, depending on what phase of the boss you're fighting against. So here's Press Garden. I don't like this. I'm just straight up not a fan. I think it's really cool. I'm pretty sure it's also unique. I could be wrong about that. But I just don't like the layout, and only the first act, not the second act. I like the second act a lot, actually. It's really cool with ice elements and everything. Can Knuckles? No. I don't know how Knuckles is supposed to grab that one down there. You can hit those if you have a fire shield or if you're Knuckles, but I'm not sure how Knuckles is supposed to hit that in the first place. So we're gonna go for this right here. A lot of the time, the big ring that you're looking for is like at the beginning of the level, like the one that'll give you 50 coins. It's always really close by, which is really nice, even though I've been told that the developer, Whiteman, didn't want to make it too easy to become Supersonic. I can become Supersonic, or Super Knuckles, by the second stage, so I don't know if I'd consider that a mission accomplished or not. Oh crap. So yeah, these are just blocks that move in and out. Knuckles can barely jump high enough with these, which is always a good time. We'll be hitting a section of the stage soon, provided I stay super powered. Up ahead, where I can just like really push through really fast. But I kind of activated my super ability a little early this time around, so this might be problematic. I don't remember, I've never gotten the big ring before. That was the first time I learned about it. I watched a video before I started up this playthrough. Knuckles, come on. Yeah, this is also problematic. Knuckles' jumping is probably the worst thing about him right now, because simply enough, he can't... There's nothing that he can do about it. It's kind of his fault, but at the same time, what do you expect Knuckles to do? Just cry about it? That's why I sort of didn't want to do this playthrough, because it really makes things just a lot longer than they need to be. Not a whole lot, mind you. I can do some of this stuff still relatively quickly. But it comes to a point where you're just kind of sitting there, and you're like, I know I can do this faster if I did this instead of this, or blah blah blah, but that's a sacrifice you have to make for the Knuckles and Knuckles ending. Which isn't too impressive of an ending anyways, but I kind of like doing it. There's also some destructible environments in this stage, like this one right here. It's nice, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. We need to go up on top for this, I think. No, I think I missed what I was looking for. I can't remember what it was. Oh, also, I remember that I always called out the game, because every time I did this part, when I get to the boss right here, I always have like more than enough rings, because they give me like way too many, almost. So he has to break that, because if I try going up there, Knuckles can die because he gets squeezed through. Which is a nice mechanic called the game can't understand how fast your character is going, and sometimes he goes too fast and squishes underneath an object or obstacle, causing him to die. But only when he's super. Alright. So I need to grab this big ring right here. Oh, yeesh. I think never mind. Yeah, so I don't like this part of the. I didn't like that. I never liked that stage. I don't think it's fun. But now we're gonna move on to the second part, which is all ice. And the mechanic is that your character can get frozen while things are happening, regardless of whether or not you're super formed. This makes you slide down hills and do random stuff a lot faster. Like that. This makes super form a little more finicky, simply because you have to know what you're doing, or else you're just wasting rings and time, and by proxy rings. What's this? Oh, here we go. So that's why I'm gonna wait a bit before I hit the go-ahead with Knuckles' super ability. I'm gonna wait for him to get enough rings, and also I need to get enough rings to begin with. I'm not like a wholesome fan of this stage either, but I like it. I think the frost mechanic's really cool, and I'm glad they don't bring it back later. So there are enemies who will freeze you too. They won't deal damage, they'll just freeze you. Which I think is really nice. This boss is the next heavy, is the upcoming boss here. And he's really a pain to get through if you're not super formed. We're just gonna do this right now. I know this probably might kill me, because I won't have enough to fight the guy later, but that's fine. We're gonna just go down here real quick, like. Pressing jump multiple times gets you unfrozen. I just do it preemptively so that I can, you know, get myself out of the pickle like immediately. You can only certain items are only destructible by being frozen as well, which is fine, I guess. It kind of makes backtracking a bit of a necessity. And sometimes it makes it like just a pain. Those are just keep in mind those are what am I thinking here? Those are the hammerjack birds or whatever you call them, woodpeckers. What I can't remember why I forgot that word. But those guys just hit trees and make them explode and whatnot. I like the music. It's nice music. Also, I don't know if you saw for like one frame there's a picture of a big ring. I can grab that if I wanted to, but I don't really want to, because I don't know how to get there completely. Sort of just by luck and chance. We're gonna backtrack up here. So just a reminder, being frozen is a good thing in this level. It's not 100% required, but there are some places where being frozen just makes things go faster. Yeah, that's all. Also, there are blue springs in these stages, which means they only get used once and then they break immediately. That's kind of neat. We're running out of rings real close now, but the boss is like right here, so it's fine. Right here. So this is the Ninja Heavy, I think his name, or his name is like Shuriken Heavy or something. His blade makes you frozen. And he's dead. I hope you were paying attention. Ba, ba, ba. Alright, so that's Metal Sonic in the picture that Dr. Robotnik is fixing up. So I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but that thing Eggman's holding is called the Infinity Emerald, or the Infinity Gem or something. I think it's the Infinity Emerald, so it's not related to the ones in Marvel. Anyways, they're like it's like a special type of emerald that distorts time and space, unlike other emeralds which also distort time and space. Get out of here. I can't move when that guy's doing that because it causes me to get hit. We're just gonna go through this level as fast as possible. I'm gonna try and get super by the end of this level, because the boss is like super pushover. If you can do it. If you can grab 50 rings. Get out of here. Shoo. So you just gotta... A lot of this is just if you know what the game is, you know what you're doing, because this is basically... when they made this, it's basically like Sonic Generations, but 2D form and pixelated. Which is nice. That's what everyone's saying anyways, that this is like Sonic Generations, because it's bringing a lot of old stages back and whatnot. Yep. Watch out for the ghost birds, because they're weird. The Stardust Speedway is the equivalent of just don't get in the way of anything, because it will kill you. That's what this stage is basically like. I should be getting 50 rings soon enough. It may take me slightly longer than I expected, but that's fine. There we go. We're almost near the end too, actually, so this is perfect timing. Just hit that real quick for safety. I just gotta go through the rest of this. There's not a lot to talk about other than it's just a reminder this game is $20, which is quite a steal for how much polish and love went into it. We're gonna hit this right here. There also just, even if you're not gonna see any big rings here, there are big rings in every stage. Every world has there's not a finite amount. I'm pretty sure there's, I mean, not a specific number. Some have like 1 or 2, others have like 4. Okay, we're gonna go super now. I'm done with this. We're just gonna try and hit as many of these as possible. There we go. Again, this is pretty straightforward stuff. Ah, crap. Pretty straightforward stuff. Alright, we're out. If you want to watch someone play those levels, that's fine. I'm just not into it. We're gonna go through this as quickly as we can. Not worrying too much about what's behind us, because we're looking ahead, which is always the motto of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. We should be like right there, like right by the boss door right now. There it is. Ah, crap, I couldn't reach the rings. That's fine. This boss again is a pushover. It's a big version of version of those little tiny bird things, but it also uses the bird things to attack me too, so kind of weird. This is a pretty do-nothing boss. Done. I have a hit right there. Nothing. Oh well. There's always a chance that there's something on the ground you can hit. So now we're gonna go to the future, which is a relic of Sonic CD game mechanics. Future. Whoosh. Keep in mind, despite this animation, we're still in Stardust Speedway. It's just in the future. It's got some nice music to it as well. So, I know where a big ring is, and I'm just gonna go grab it because it makes things easier for us. And that should get us... We just need to go as far down as possible. Done. Now we just gotta get through this level as fast as possible. There's actually an achievement for getting through this level in under a minute. Which I'm not getting, by the way, because I don't know what I'm doing. So we're just gonna keep going forward. That's the goal. Yeah, this stage can be like easily beaten in less than a minute if you know what you're doing. Which, surprisingly enough, I don't. But we should be hitting the end here in about 10 seconds or so. If I don't get lost, that is. Never mind, it'll take a little bit longer than that. Also, I'm probably gonna die once or twice against this boss, simply because I'm not that good against it, and the fact that I'm gonna have to waste super on this boss, because it takes a long time to beat this boss, and I'm gonna run out of rings way before that. So using super form is sometimes not a good idea. A lot of what I said probably didn't make any sense. That's fine. I'm probably gonna fight this boss once, then I'm gonna like die, and then we'll just try again. We should be hitting a checkpoint. No, we're not hitting a checkpoint. We're just going straight into it. All right. Here's the Metal Xehanort. Hello there. A lot of people like this boss fight. I'm alright with it. I think it's nice. It's really easy to do when you're Super Knuckles. When you're Super Form. But the problem is, like I said before, this boss fight is really long to get through simply because of the fact that you have to get to the boss fight. This isn't the fight itself. It's just getting through it. And while he's attacking you. Now here's the fight. Well, here's one part of the fight anyways. So when you're super form, your spin rolls are a lot faster, which means that you'll actually end up launching the enemy past the guy, because you're supposed to launch him at Metal Sonic himself. But right now I can't do that unless I do some weird stuff like pace myself out. Yeah, don't pay attention to what I'm saying, by the way. What you just need to do is hit these guys. You need him like 2 more times. There we go. So I need to grab some rings, which should be up here. Yep. Come on. So again, this isn't a part of the fight. I just have to avoid Metal Sonic's attacks and keep at least 1 ring. Right there. Metal Sonic does not like us at all, by the way. Not a fan. He's really easy to get a fight when you're on even battleground, but attacks like that are really hard to really hard to dodge, just because of how fast he moves. You have to be like, you basically have to know what he's doing before he does it. All right, so here's the last part of the fight actually. You can see the Eggman thing in the background is really cool. So he does this thing a lot where he just kind of falls back after, like, he takes a lot of energy, so he needs to cool down. That's when we can attack him. He's actually almost dead. And he's dead now. Nope, hold on. There you go. Sorry if I'm talking a lot, I just need something to preoccupy myself while this fight's going on. He's really easy. It's not taking damage, that's the hard part. Alright, we're going to the... Oh no, that was the last area. Alright. Hydrocity Zone. Alright then. That's it for part 2. Oh, that was my arm. I'll just probably record this part now while I'm doing it. And I'll just post it later when I get everything rendered and everything. But this has been fun so far. I'm having a good time. Still a little stuffy in the head, but at least I'm not coughing a whole bunch. Allergies starting to die down finally, which is really nice. But I'll see you guys later. Take care.